company is First Wave Technologies. First Wave Technologies is a medical device facilitation business with two initial products. The first, Crush automated pill crusher in order to make them digestible due to the high demand by the growing population of senior citizens and others. And a respiratory device conversion and amplification technology that turns a ventilator into the equivalent of a $150,000 anesthesia machine. Presenting this morning for First Wave Technologies is Brian Bell.
So now that you have your medication out of your bottle, you need to crush it. Because mom either has a psychiatric issue, she's not compliant taking her meds, or she has some kind of physical ailment. This happens 6.5 billion times a year in nursing homes. And on top of that, 100% of your nursing homes also have assisted living centers that all crush. Hospitals, 100% of hospitals crush. Even correctional facilities, prisons, have to crush. And the way they're crushing today is with a manual process. This is the state-of-the-art in the marketplace. It's a product called the Silent Night, made by a company called LICA Medical, and you physically force the medication to be crushed. When you think about it, it's not much different than 2,000 years ago when we had the mortar and pestle. The difference is all we're taking is a vertical force and now making it a horizontal force. But they were the first ones that came up with a business model that makes sense in this business, a razor blade business model. You see two images here. These are plastic pill pouches that are sold with the machines, and a couple significant issues come with this. First, the process, because it's manual, is long and laborious. You have about 4,000 nurses who report carpal tunnel injury every year. But in addition to that, the State Department of Health comes into these nursing homes twice a year and audits them. If they see that you leave medication in the pill pouch, you could be subject to a $25,000 fine per day until that's resolved. So providing accurate dosing is important. And then in addition to that, you need to be able to not only get the medication to the patient, but allow them to retain it. So there's a large number of patients that have feeding tubes that tend to get clogged if the medication is not crushed sufficiently. Or about 45% of your residents are dementia patients that if you don't crush it up fine enough, they'll feel grit or texture in their applesauce and they'll spit it back out. So again, the thrust here is to take a manual process. It's very large, happens each and every day, make it quicker, easier, better ultimately, and more compliant for the nursing home. So we do that with an automated system. Think about it, the current machine for the nursing home is now crushing pills instead. We sell a set of proprietary consumables that are covered by 8 different patents on a worldwide basis. And the idea is that the automated system just pulls through the system, so within 4 to 5 months you've sold enough of our cups to justify even the placement of the machine, though we do sell the machine outright as well too. In addition to that, some of the important things is that you'll sell about $300 worth of cups per machine into these facilities. A typical facility you use 4 to 5 machines, so I'll give you a sense of what an average nursing home will be. In addition to that, through this system we're able to avoid several steps. We don't leave medication in our cup, much like the pouch, because we're crushing in our cup. We're putting our applesauce or pudding in the same cup. That's what helps it make taste better for the resident, and then serve it right from the cup. So we're being more compliant with a much finer powder, one that doesn't clog feeding tubes, one that doesn't have your dementia patients spitting out their meds. We started selling this product a couple years ago. We now have 52 different distributors in 6 different countries. Part of the use of proceeds is certainly to expand into other markets. We have a 3-year commitment from the largest nursing home in the country who's now using the product, as well as a take-or-pay contract with one of the largest medcart companies in Canada. The medcarts hold the medication, they get wheeled up and down the nursing homes, get crushed on top of them. It's a take-or-pay contract. Whether they sell our crusher or not, they still pay us. So what in essence the pill crusher is doing is automating a manual process to improve the delivery of a medication. We've taken that same concept now and are now doing it into anesthesia machines. That opens up a marketplace for anesthesiologists to collect physician fees equivalent to 50% of their existing marketplace. And instead of selling $300 worth of consumables per year per facility, we sell you a $500 disposable per patient. And the reason the hospital wants to do that is it can avoid between $24,000 and $42,000 worth of cost from the existing methods they use today. So we have a very active board of directors. 6 out of the 7 directors are independent. I won't go through all of these, but we have people who were formerly the dean of the Stanford School of Medicine, people who have run the largest nursing home in the country, people who have been the head of critical care units at their hospital systems, etc. My background is actually finance and accounting by degree. I was with a venture capitalist fund, JP Morgan affiliate before founding First Wave. We brought in some domain expertise like Michael DiFrancesco, who was a VP of long-term care for McKesson. Since a lot of the pill crusher sales are through distribution, we want that particular expertise. And then Dr. Furman was the inventor of the anesthesia technology. We had roughly about $800,000 worth of sales last year. As you can imagine, the goal with this recurring revenue stream is to have high margins associated with them. So we make our cups for about 1 cent. We sell them for 2.5 to 2.8 cents wholesale, and then they get marked up to 3.5 to 3.8 cents to the facility. So high recurring revenue stream happens each and every day. Doesn't matter what the stock market's doing. You have to make sure that resident gets their medication so they can be compliant with their prescriptions. We're raising $1.5 million through a redeemable preferred stock. We've sold $400,000 of that to date. In addition to that, there's deeply discounted warrants that come with it. You can see the use of proceeds. Small amounts going to the pill crusher, which will achieve net income positive by the end of this year. And the vast majority of the funding is going to launch the anesthesia machine, which is a Class 2 medical device, requires 510(k) clearance by the FDA. We expect to file that in the next 3 months. Any questions?
So thoroughly covered it.
That's right. There's a demonstration of both our product and the manual one outside, if afterwards you want to brush your medications.
Our next presenting company is Rayland Therapeutics. Rayland Therapeutics has developed diagnostic and therapeutic devices that use implantable biosensors to provide real-time in vivo monitoring of biological signals